you speak or have any knowledge about your linguistic background or the languages spoken in your family?
I don't have any, we don't speak the language. My aunt is almost fluent in the language. Most of us don't speak it. It's just hardly anyone speaks it, and it wasn't taught to us when we were young. But we all have knowledge of the language.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what it's called?
It's like Nishos. I can't even pronounce the dang word. It's a dialect of Salish though.
Do you have any knowledge about your linguistic background or the languages spoken in your family or tribe?
Yeah, we have Cowlitz has upper and lower Cowlitz, and when I was growing up, we used to like host camps, and we'd have our language specialist dude come in and teach the kids language, and now we have an actual program dedicated to like restoring. I think it's lower Cowlitz language.
How does your heritage language connect to your sense of identity in that way?
That's a hard one. I guess language is a big part of how you look at the world. It's a big part of your perspective, your history, your culture. And so if you don't have that going forward, you lose part of your cultural identity.
What does this language or preservation mean to you personally? Like not just your family or your tribe, but like to you?
I think it means just not giving up and trying to regain something that you lost overall.
Moving into like you more personally, how do you think like this language connects to your sense of identity, if at all, or like the lack of speaking it either?
I think that for a long time I felt like I should know things that I didn't know until I was watching this documentary, and this native guy was saying, knowing your language is being native, not knowing it is being native too, because that's part of the native experience. And so the fact that I don't know it connects to being disconnected from a community of speakers that, happened for a lot of different reasons. And so I think it's also, at some point so I like to support language revitalization or restoration efforts. And at some point I feel like I need to be intentional about learning.
So do you think speaking this language or the ability to speak it or lack thereof connects to your sense of identity?
Yeah, I mean, like natives already, like there is a there's a difference between being like white native, in that self, and being like actually like full-blooded native, and there's a difference between being like living on the res and not living on the res, and like attached to your culture, not attached to your culture, and so you do get like ostracized a little bit, or like.
How do you navigate language and culture in these academic settings?
I don't know if you really do. I guess you kind of talk about it where you can, where the certain environment is open for dialogue.
You'd be surprised that that's the common answer.
Oh, really?
Do you ever feel a sense of loss of connection to your indigenous identity, or you're like unable to participate in traditional activities or get that same experience?
Yeah, and so this is something that a lot of the other ones will talk about. This is kind of why we built the house in the first place, is because we did feel alone and lost, especially being disconnected from the tribe. So if I didn't have this place here, I don't know if I would have stayed at Gonzaga, to be honest. Yeah.
Are there any fluent speakers that you know of still teaching it?
Yeah, a white dude who's fluent in my language. And we have an app now actually, and you can it's like kind of like Duolingo, but for lower Cowlitz.
Yeah. So do you know maybe like any other methods of revitalization that like you might think actually work?
There's a student who he's a GU alum, and he left here he left Gonzaga and is finishing a dual PhD in linguistics and anthropology at the University of Arizona. And we've brought him back to Gonzaga a couple times to host language symposiums and have invited language program people from the area tribes to engage with him about more culturally derived language teaching methods.
They've reached out to like tribal members and will do like classes, you know, like kind of like community style, like show up when you can, you know, and they're all free and stuff, and that's kind of helpful. Like there's only those like 2 members in our freaking group, and like I'm not even in the group because nobody's told me about it, or like nobody reaches out, or even if they do, it's like some native students just don't care because you're like you're native, but it's like not even a part of you.
Is there any support here at Gonzaga, like outside of the Native House or the club, that plays a role in helping keep like linguistic traditions alive? Like any classes you know of that people could take?
No, but I also don't think there should be.
And why do you think that?
I think that it would be removing the language from the culture.
Yeah.
Removing the language from the people. I know that a lot of language programs don't have enough language teachers to teach their own people.
Yeah.
And so, unless we want to help, what I do think we could do at a place like Gonzaga is help native language teachers teach native languages.
That's really nice. Do any of the Gonzaga courses that you took in the past help facilitate your learning or connect you to linguistic or cultural backgrounds?
I guess just taking other languages and learning how languages in general are structured, how to learn one that you're not familiar with. So I took Italian when I was here, and I took Spanish, and very different from English. Even though we have Latin roots, there are some differences. So it was good just to learn a new language.
Is there any support here at Gonzaga that plays a role in helping you keep your linguistic traditions
No,
alive?
no, there's not.
So you don't think Gonzaga adequately represents and respects Indigenous language?
They
and
don't
culture?
even have a freaking house for us on campus, bro. Like, it's UMEC, you know, you have UMEC and stuff, you have the Lincoln Center, we have, like, organizations for other groups, like, you have FOSU and SOSU get their great big events, you know, you just went to Mela, and then I'm sure the African American, I don't know if they have a student union, but, like, there's a lot of student unions who I feel like get more representation, more access to, like, being put out than the Native House or the Native student groups.
What I do know is that the Catholic Church and the Jesuits have some complicity in the disappearance of Indigenous languages. And so I think kind of wrestling with that would need to come before the question about whether or not we're respecting the languages.
Okay.
Like, 'cause I'm not sure the languages are there to respect. Like, I think we have to kind of acknowledge our role in their disappearance.
Do you have any support here at Gonzaga to help play a role in helping you keep your linguistic traditions alive?
Not specifically, just because here at Gonzaga we are more of a regional hub rather than a specific for each tribe. So we can't really be playing favorites like that. But we did put on a teacher event where one of our past alumni from Gonzaga, the guy I was telling you about, Joseph, he came and taught how to teach Indigenous language. And so we had people from our tribe and tribes all across the region come. And so that was one way Gonzaga has kind of helped.